So we're using Mindtickle to assess our sales training platform, or our sales training knowledge, and our enablement programs. So largely we're using the missions and the multi-choice assessments in the learning side to really understand if our go-to-market programs are working, if they're being effective, if we're transferring the knowledge across, and really ultimately if sales are able to articulate that when they get into the field. So we're using the Mindtickle Readiness Index, and we've got a fairly complex go-to-market knowledge set. And so we've got 7 different criteria that we're assessing across multi-choice quizzes, across missions, and ultimately we're using that to predict pipeline generation and sales success later down the track. But it's really the missions and the multi-choice assessments that we're able to fully understand how much of the training that we're doing is sticking with our salespeople, and then how much they're able to apply. We're working with our professional services team to figure out what our ideal rep profile is. We know we've got knowledge competencies. We've definitely defined those. They're built into our go-to-market program. What we're now working on is the kind of skill competencies. It's difficult for us. We've got a very long sales process, very established salespeople who've been selling for 10, 15 years. So it's challenging on the experienced ones, but for our newer salespeople, like our sales development reps, we've got a very clear track, skills that we want them to cover, and we've got a 2-year development path that we're able to help build that over. And that starts with their onboarding, but also goes through a number of certification programs where we use missions and knowledge checks along the way to make sure they're meeting the kind of benchmarks at each stage of that career journey. What we are able to do on some of the factor elements is at least identify trends with our performers. So some top performers are using and engaging with the content. Some of our low performers are not engaging with the content. So we're able to identify that and then share that insight with the leadership team. And then they can make judgments based on performance, based on what they're seeing. We're already seeing these anecdotal elements where we can make corrective behavior in the sales teams. So the impact that we've been able to have so far is to have about a 70% reduction on our global go-to-market training. So I've been in the company just over a year. When I inherited the team, the first question I was asked is, we just did our global go-to-market training, did it work? My question back was, what did you measure? And there wasn't any measures in place. So, this is the reason why we brought Mindtickle in, is to measure that. So we have a global sales team of about 500-600 people all in. 20 different programs that we're running globally, and we had no way to correlate or compare the impact of training. We spent thousands and thousands of man hours training people without any impact or measurement on the effectiveness of that. So what we've done is, if you think about Kirkpatrick, is we've gone to learning, and we can now define what people have learned as a result of the training, and then ultimately the components of that, how that's going to predict behavior. So far we're at level, learning, so level 2 on Kirkpatrick. We have got level 3 in terms of behavior, so missions and things to see if people can articulate it, which I think is a lot better than we were. So we know that the go-to-market programs have been effective at transferring knowledge. Now we just have to see if that knowledge is turning into results.